Good evening, I'm Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas, and we welcome you to the Thomas & Mack Center just off the Vegas Strip for tonight's main event. 15 rounds of heavyweight action between Muhammad Ali and Big George Foreman. Muhammad Ali's on his way to the ring right now, and you can see how excited he is for this one. Lots of confidence. George Foreman's making that final walk that separates man and warrior, soon to be embattled there in the ring.
Okay, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Have a good, clean fight, touch gloves, and let's come out fighting.
15 rounds scheduled here in this much-anticipated fight, and we are underway with round number one. Teddy, obviously we have a matchup that the fans love, power puncher versus power puncher, but if you're one of the two trainers, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking about defense. If I can be a little bit better on defense, my power's not going away. I'm still going to be okay in that area.
Muhammad Ali's movement's really helping him out, avoiding that punch. Able to defend and then go on the offensive. Foreman's able to avoid that punch. Able to show you his blocking ability. Targeting each other, the exchange was something special. Staying away from those headshots with his defense up top. He missed with that headshot. What happened to the get-to-know-ya? They're getting to know each other real quick here.
Unbelievable. I feel like I'm at a fancy restaurant, and we've already had 4 courses, and the chef came out and said, hey, don't be full yet. You got 8 more to go.
He took a shot, but he gives one of his own. A left hand scores. Missed by Ali. The twists and turns and the non-stop battle. It continues on as we've reached the 1-minute mark to go. Teddy, do you think the sport needs a national or international governing body?
Yeah, it's the only major sport, at least it used to be a major sport, that doesn't have that. And there's no unilateral control. And when there's no unilateral control across the board, well, you have too many spots that are weak for the sport, spots that do not serve the sport.
Blocks that punch. And now they're opening up. Both right hands land. Last 10 seconds.
Double up your punches. You need to cover up. Leaving yourself open too much. Cover up. You have to start doubling that jab, okay? Double that jab. That'll put us in a position. Don't stand toe-to-toe with this guy. Keep your distance.
2 is underway. So swiftly able to turn defense into offense. Nice counterpunch.
And what you're noticing here is his opponent is starting to be a little wary of letting his jab go, because every time he jabs, he gets caught.
Foreman's now showing us something that could have a great impact on this fight, Teddy, and that's his ability to counter.
Yeah, he's mixing it up a little bit. We know he can lead, we know he can get off first, but now this dimension, serving him well.
Uppercuts that George Foreman was able to land on Joe Frazier and winning the heavyweight title, they were lifting Joe Frazier off the ground.
You know, Joe Frazier, because of his style, as terrific as he was made to order for George Foreman.
Ali's cheek is cut. You can see it's opening up now. Boy, that could be a factor later on. Some fine fundamentals, good counterpunch.
Nice mousetrap there, he let him in beautifully. He didn't use cheese, he used distance.
Halfway through round number 2.
Off the rope, circle him.
Able to get away from that headshot with the block. Able to counter that attack. What a great round. 2 minutes in, 60 seconds to go. See, the defense pays off as he gets rid of that downstairs. Good-looking counterpunch. Just 10 seconds to go in this round. He took a shot, but he gives one of his own. A left hand scores. We come to the end of the round. A round that I'm having a tough time trying to think about who won. I can only imagine what the judges are thinking about. Teddy, if there's one thing you look for in a round like that and say, okay, I'm going to give it to this guy over this guy, what is it?
Well, the first thing is, if I'm a judge, I take a little notepad and I make a little mark down, blue and red corner, what he did early. Because sometimes a judge has a tendency to forget what was done early and only go with what went late.
You're about to smart now. In and out, side to side, you understand? You have to keep your distance.
And round number 3 is underway. Devastating blow by Ali. He is very much being tested here, even though he's likely up on the scorecards. He's getting a real test here.
Yeah, Joe, a test that will serve him in the future. If he goes on to win this fight, which I think he will, he's going to take what he learned here today, what he gained here today, and it's going to serve him as he moves forward in his career.
Big block by Big George. How important are these mental gymnastics that Muhammad Ali twists and turns, like his pre-fight antics with Sonny Liston, in terms of him getting the results that he wants?
Well, I think he looks for two things. It's a double-edged sword. One is that, you know, he can kind of invade the psyche of his opponent, weaken him a little bit. But it's also for himself. It's to build himself up, to give himself something to aspire to, something to make sure that he lives up to, puts himself on a spot. A spot that now he has to be sure that he handles.
Work the body.
What a great job. He gave one right back in return. Nice work by Muhammad Ali.
Stay away from the inside. Keep working the jab.
There's the headshot, but he parries it away.
Keep your distance. Range. Straight up the punch. Stay on the outside. Back to the body.
Good defense, just covering up down low.
You gotta protect yourself. Keep working the body.
Able to cover up along the belt line, blocks that one.
Back to the body.
Final 10 seconds.
Uppercut. Uppercut. Keep moving.
End of this round. Joe and Teddy sitting ringside with you. It gives us time to reflect on the bigger picture of boxing. You know, it was interesting. We had a fan walk up to you earlier today and say, hey, I know you learned everything from the legendary Cus D'Amato, the great trainer. And he said to you, what's the one thing you took away from all your years with Cus? What did you say to him?
Well, it wasn't a paycheck, I'll tell you that much, because Cus didn't believe in paying you for that. He said you're going to college, you're getting a valuable education, and you're not even being forced to pay a tuition. So I understood that. We worked 7 days a week, so there was no union. Cus believed in working on Sundays, so you couldn't go complain and say I'm being overworked. But I think seriously that the most important thing that I learned, of course, that from a technical standpoint, you have to be really secure in those areas. No matter how much talent a fighter has, you have to teach them right, teach them the fundamentals, but mentally. You have to understand that a fighter's really always under fear. And you have to understand those dimensions, those parameters. And you have to be able to find a way to get in there, understanding how he feels mentally, and understanding how that can impair his judgment, stop him from doing simple physical things.
Work the body. Finish with the heart. Keep your hands up.
At the end of the 20th century, many of the greatest of lists were all topped by Muhammad Ali. In fact, Sports Illustrated named him the sportsman of the century. I know Babe Ruth had a great effect on baseball. Michael Jordan's probably the greatest basketball player of all time. But I don't know that there's anybody that touched the world stage the way Ali did.
Well, there probably isn't. At one point, he was probably the most recognizable face on the planet. I mean, everybody knew who he was. And also, what he stood for. You know, he stood for freedom. He stood for power, for strength. And he stood for, most important of all, individualism. And that's how he lived his life in and out of the ring. You know, he was very, different in that ring in his approach, his style. And that wasn't by accident. It was to stand out and show that everybody is unique.
Defense. More defense. Double up the punch.
There it is! Ali stunned and he is hurt. Foreman's trying to create some space. You can see how he's going about it there.
Move your
misses his opponent's headshot.
In and out.
And we come to the end of the round, and he really got to his opponent that time, Teddy. He stunned him.
Oh, he stunned him. He's hearing a little tweeting going on, a little singing from the birds in his head.
You're looking good. Keep that up. Keep those hands moving. You're fighting a street. You're fighting on the inside with this guy. I want you to use the ring and keep your distance.
Back to fight action as a new round is underway. Of course, in that last round, it was fairly one-sided. He was hit pretty hard, and now he has to overcome that here.
Yeah, you don't have to be Nostradamus to know that. I mean, everybody saw, you know, he got staggered, his knees buckled, did a little dance there. But what you have to really know now is know why you got hit and correct that immediately.
Staying away from those headshots with his defense up top.
Keep working the jab.
Back and forth exchange. Back to George Foreman in his early days, and I think one of the visions that most fans remember is holding that tiny little American flag in the Mexico City Olympic Games in 1968 after claiming gold.
You know, that's an interesting point because Foreman's not known as a guy with great personality. You know, he's a guy who's a disdainful looking guy. You know, he's a guy that kind of reminds you almost of a Sonny Liston. He tries to intimidate you. He does intimidate you with his power, with his size, but at that moment, he showed that he has personality, that it's inside him.
Keep your hands up. Back to the body.
Wow, is he defensively sound.
Keep your distance.
Foreman dismisses that with a block. Foreman's proving to be elusive. Blocks that punch. Final 10 seconds of this fifth round. George Foreman's dealing with a cut around his eye, and it's in a bad spot. His vision could be impaired. So they close out that round. Joe and Teddy with you ringside. And Teddy, I know you watch very closely how these trainers go about their business. You were under the tutelage of one of the true legends of the game, the great Customato.
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate. Quite honestly, those opportunities, situations probably don't exist anymore because we've lost a lot of those, you know, really great trainers and managers that boxing was their whole life. I spent 7 years with Customato, and I learned the nuts and bolts from a physical, technical point of view of what's important to give to a fighter, but the psychological part. To understand the pressures that a fighter is under, the fears that a fighter deals with. And if you don't understand that, all the other things don't mean anything. Because you have to understand how a fighter is feeling to understand why he's behaving or not behaving a certain way.
carries that punch away. Do you see any way in which he can take his opponent's aggression and turn it against him?
Yeah, the perfect way. I mean, boxing 101, counterpunching. You got a guy coming at you, no better way than to change his mind. Make him miss, make him pay.
Turns over the hook after turning away his opponent's shot. Muhammad Ali so comfortable on the outside. See, he's trying to score up top, but off the mark there. It is unbelievable how this fight is being fought. Both guys unwilling to stop. One guy goes at it, the other guy meets him punch for punch.
Well, you've heard it before. You've heard the term used, one day at a time to deal with something very difficult. Well, this is one round at a time. That is the only way these fighters, these warriors, could deal with this kind of pace.
1 minute to go in a round that feels like an all-time classic. Punch for punch, they're meeting each other. Wow, just sit back and enjoy this one. You can tell both guys are so determined to give everything they have here tonight.
So it's like the first time you heard Ray Charles sing God Bless America. You knew it was special. You knew you hadn't heard it before. I haven't seen anything like this before.
Hurt. Wow, saved by the bell. That's like something out of a movie here.
Yeah, except nobody's coming in there and saying cut. You know, he has to keep going here. Right now, the only thing he knows is he's got flashballs going off in his head.
Beautiful, beautiful. Swelling is nothing. Just focus on the fight.
They are back to action here, but that action has only favored one man, completely one-sided. Hard to see the scorecards coming into play here with how dominating he's been.
Off the rope, circling back to the body.
Not hitting his mark there going upstairs. Foreman's treating the word slip like it truly is a four-letter word.
Yeah, he is. He's slipping all right. He's slipping over the other guy's left hook. He needs to start actually slipping by moving his head side to side.
Some fine fundamentals, good counterpunch.
Nice mousetrap there. He let him in beautifully. He didn't use cheese. He used distance.
You always say punchers are born, Teddy, but what about a guy's ability to withstand big punches? What about a guy's chin?
You know, that's an interesting point. Part of it is physical, and you know what it is? It's the neck. That's the shock absorber, but most of it's mental. You have to want to take the punches. You have to will yourself through the punches. This guy has some will.
And you see he turned defense into offense, comes back with the counterpunch.
And that's exactly what he brings to the game. He makes you miss, he makes you pay, and he makes you think twice about throwing a punch later on.
Oh, he just misses with that headshot. work by Muhammad Ali on the outside, staying out there at that safe zone, but still scoring on his own. Well, there he is on the outside, staying away from any danger, but still able to do what he wants.
Hey, Joe, so often we talk about the height, we talk about the length, but how about talking about patience? How about talking about discipline? He's using both those assets beautifully, staying on the outside, getting his kind of fight.
Foreman dismisses that with a block. We come to the end of the round. A round that I'm having a tough time trying to think about who won. I can only imagine what the judges are thinking about. Teddy, if there's one thing you look for in a round like that and say, okay, I'm going to give it to this guy over this guy, what is it?
Well, the first thing is, if I'm a judge, I take a little notepad and I make a little mark down, blue or red corner, what he did early. Because sometimes a judge has a tendency to forget what was done early and only go with what went late.
There's nothing. Small cut, nothing to worry about. Get on that. Get on that.
And we are underway for what is the second half of this fight. Who knows what we're in store for? Staying away from those headshots with his defense up top. George Foreman's not showing us that he understands just how effective he can be if he went downstairs against his opponent.
Yeah, well, you know what you're saying, Joe? You're taking a peek and you're taking a swipe without meaning at his trainers. Because what he's telling you is he hasn't been taught some of the rudiments of boxing. That when you hurt a guy, you should go downstairs to finish him.
Keep working the box.
Muhammad Ali's defense did a good job there, able to avoid that punch. And that is not what his opponent really wants. He's backed up against the ropes. Oh, very nice. Smart counter punch there.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You make the guy miss, you make him pay.
To go in this round. Neither man has decided to slow down at all. Oh boy, what a round. His opponent wanted the body. He wouldn't give it to him. End of the round here. You can see the fans really enjoying themselves tonight. You know, Teddy, I think maybe more so than any other sport, boxing fans are not just passionate like in other sports, but they are smart and savvy. They know the game inside and out.
Well, they follow the contestants. They do understand the parameters of the game. And you know what? They come here and they kind of demand from those fighters the performance that they expect from them. If they expect a guy to box, you hear them every once in a while saying, hey, come on, you know, let's get that jab working. They act like coaches sometimes.
Teddy, what do you think here as we start this round? I mean, you watch what he did in that last round, and you got to think that he can get himself back into this fight.
Well, that's how he's got to be thinking it. That's kind of what he's made up of. He's not a front runner. You know, he's not a fast starter anyway. He's the kind of guy that his real strength is to be able to wear you down, is to have a great resolve, and to be able to chip away, chip away. He's chipping.
Good block by George. Good work by Muhammad Ali on the outside, staying out there at that safe zone, but still scoring on his own. Muhammad Ali is being very efficient right here. I mean, he's just picking his shots. His accuracy is through the roof.
Well, that's one of the talents, and you hope is a talent of a top fighter, is his ability to pick his shots, to be calm enough to see the openings. He's seeing everything right now.
Fine fundamentals, good counterpunch. Foreman dismisses that with a block. Able to defend and then go on the offensive. Nice block by Foreman. Seconds to go in what has been a toe-to-toe war. Oh, what a great round. Great fight. I mean, just a great fight. Both guys giving their all back and forth.
It doesn't get much better.
This has been a very entertaining fight. A little time to reflect here at the end of this round. My thoughts being this: I would really be surprised if we go to a decision here. It just has that kind of feel to it.
Yeah, it has a feel to me like going to one of those places where you can eat all the pasta you can for one price, you know? And some guys get carried away. They eat about 5 bowls. Well, these guys, they're going to have a stomachache at the end. Somebody is going to wind up not standing at the end.
Stop chasing them around the ring. Cut the ring off. You're fighting this fight. You're fighting on the inside with this guy. I want you to use the ring and keep your...
And now they start round number 10. Nice block by Ali. George Foreman blocks that punch. Good work by Muhammad Ali on the outside, staying out there at that safe zone, but still scoring on his own. Muhammad Ali's jab is really becoming an effective tool here, especially with the distance that he's keeping away from his opponent.
He's doing a great job of using that stick, making sure that that jab's in his face, but then stepping out and setting traps, getting his opponent to reach in a little bit and then filling the hole.
Foreman dismisses that with a block. A minute to go in what has been 2 minutes of sensational action. Neither man coming off stride. What a fight. What a great, great, non-stop action fight this has been.
Up and down, side to side. Let it go.
Not able to land the headshot. Good counter punch. So the round comes to an end. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas sitting with you ringside. I know you had a very busy week before you flew here out to broadcast this fight, doing your charitable contributions back in Staten Island with the Dr. Theodore Atlas Foundation.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Joe. We did well. We had our dinner, our yearly dinner, where we're able to raise money to help people that are in need, people that have nowhere else to go for help, whether it's a mother that can't pay the cancer treatment for a 7-year-old daughter, and we're able to pick up that insurance. But the thing that I want to take a second to thank everybody for is that it's a collective effort. It's all the people that allow us the resources to go out there and help those people.
Oh, that's gotta hurt. A stinging right hand by Muhammad Ali. About it, he's hurt. He could go down, but he's doing the right thing here. Wow! Muhammad Ali stunned and he is hurt.
Punch it out, guys.
Foreman's showing some real guts here. Hey, this fight was not going his way at all, but somehow he has gathered momentum.
Yeah, he behaved like a fighter. He got through the tough times, and now guess what? Good times in front of him.
Staggered. Oh, right to the gut and right to the ground he goes. So he goes down, but able to get up to his feet. Teddy, what should he be thinking about now?
Well, right now, just surviving, but if he survives, then he better...
Oh, and now the real test. Can he get up after going down a second time? fight. Big George Foreman's gonna be partying tonight. A knockout victory. George Foreman's your winner by knockout, Teddy.
When we came in wondering whether or not his opponent had a good chin, we found out.
For Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. We'll see you next time ringside.